Pakistan is bracing for a new round of violent protests following the arrest of former Prime Minister Imran Khan.
Do not destroy public or private property, but
Khan accuses Pakistan's powerful army and intelligence agency of being behind his political troubles and threats to his life.
Pakistan is dying, and that is a global problem. Are you ready to learn why Pakistan's struggles are not just its own, but the world's too? Stay tuned to find out how this nation's problems are affecting the globe and what we can do to address them. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this special report on Pakistan. Today we will be discussing an important issue that is not just confined to Pakistan, but has implications for the global community as well. Pakistan, as a country with a rich history and culture, is currently facing a significant number of challenges. From political instability to economic challenges and environmental crisis, Pakistan is grappling with a range of problems that are threatening its very existence. The purpose of this report is to shed light on the critical situation in Pakistan and to examine how it's affecting the world at large. So join us as we delve into the issue of Pakistan's challenges and why they are a global problem. The climate crisis in Pakistan. Pakistan is one of the countries that is most affected by climate change. The country is experiencing extreme weather conditions, including heat waves, droughts, floods, and snowstorms. The impact of climate change is devastating for Pakistan, with millions of people being affected by floods and droughts every year. The country's agriculture sector, which employs almost 50% of the population, is also suffering from the effects of climate change. The water scarcity and unpredictable weather patterns have severely affected crop yields, leading to food insecurity and economic hardship for farmers. Military regime in Pakistan. Pakistan's history has been marked by several periods of military rule, and the country has been ruled by the military for almost half of its existence. Since independence in 1947, military regimes in Pakistan have had a significant impact on the country's politics, governance, and institution. The military's intervention in politics has often led to the erosion of democracy and the suppression of fundamental rights and freedoms. One of the significant challenges posed by military regimes in Pakistan is the undermining of democratic institutions. The military's intervention in politics has weakened the role of civilian institutions, such as the judiciary, the parliament, and the media, which are essential for ensuring accountability and transparency in governance. The military's interference in the political process has also led to a lack of political stability, with frequent changes in government and coups being a common feature of Pakistan's political landscape. Another challenge posed by military regimes in Pakistan is the impact on civil-military relations. The military's influence in politics has often led to tensions between the military and civilian authorities. The military has often been accused of interfering in civilian affairs and seeking to maintain its influence over political processes. The water crisis in Pakistan. Pakistan is currently facing a severe water crisis. The country's water supply is limited, and its demand is increasing rapidly due to population growth and industrialization. The World Resources Institute has ranked Pakistan as the fourth most water-stressed country in the world. The situation is so dire that the country is expected to run out of water by 2025. If immediate measures are not taken. The water crisis has affected all aspects of life in Pakistan, including agriculture, industry, and domestic use. Farmers are unable to irrigate their crops, leading to a decline in agricultural productivity. The lack of water has also led to the power shortages, as hydroelectric power plants cannot generate electricity without water. The situation is further compounded by poor water management practices, including water wastage, pollution, and mismanagement of water resources. High inflation. High inflation is one of Pakistan's major problems right now. With the cost of necessities increasing, inflation has been on the increase in Pakistan in recent years, making it difficult for the average individual to make ends meet. Pakistan's reliance on imports is one of the main reasons behind the country's high inflation rate. Pakistan is significantly dependent on imports of basic goods like food, petrol, and gasoline, which account for a sizable share of the nation's imports. Increases in these commodities prices on the global market directly affect Pakistan's economy and raise the country's cost of living. Pakistan's budget imbalance is another factor contributing to the country's high inflation rate. Since many years, Pakistan has had a substantial budget deficit, which indicates that the country's government spends more than it takes in. Borrowing is used to cover this gap, which results in an expansion of the money supply and eventually inflation. The effects of Pakistan's high inflation rate are extensive. The average person's purchasing power has decreased as a result, making it more challenging for them to acquire essentials of life. Due to the high expense of living, it has also contributed to an increase in poverty, with many individuals now living below the poverty line. Investor reluctance due to high inflation has also had a detrimental effect on investment. The energy crisis in Pakistan.
Pakistan grapples with a crippling power and economic crisis. The Shehbaz Sharif government has introduced a series of measures to cut down on energy costs.
Pakistan is facing an acute energy crisis, with power outages being a common occurrence in the country. The energy shortfall is estimated to be around 6,000 megawatts, leading to load shedding that lasts for up to 20 hours a day in some areas. The energy crisis is having a severe impact on the country's economy, with businesses unable to operate effectively due to power shortages. The energy crisis in Pakistan is primarily due to the lack of investment in the energy sector and poor management of energy resources. The country has been heavily dependent on fossil fuels, which are both expensive and environmentally damaging. However, the government has recently taken steps to promote renewable energy sources such as solar and wind power. The environmental crisis in Pakistan. Pakistan is facing an environmental crisis, with pollution levels reaching dangerous levels in some areas. Air pollution is a significant problem, with high levels of particulate matter leading to respiratory illness and premature deaths. Water pollution is also a severe issue, with untreated sewage and industrial waste being discharged into rivers and lakes. The environmental crisis in Pakistan is closely linked to the country's economic development. As the country has industrialized, the demand for energy and natural resources has increased, leading to environmental degradation. However, there are steps that can be taken to address the environmental crisis, such as promoting renewable energy, enforcing environmental regulations, and educating the public about the importance of environmental protection. The health crisis in Pakistan. Pakistan is facing a severe health crisis, with high rates of infant mortality, malnutrition, and infectious diseases. According to the World Health Organization, Pakistan has one of the highest infant mortality rates in the world, with 45 out of every 1,000 children dying before their first birthday. Malnutrition is also prevalent in Pakistan, with almost half of all children under the age of 5 being stunted due to the lack of proper nutrition. The role of the army in Pakistan. The Pakistani army has played a significant role in the country's politics and governance. The military has ruled Pakistan for almost half of its existence since its independence in 1947. The military's influence in politics has had both positive and negative consequences for the country. On one hand, the army has been able to provide stability during times of political turmoil. On the other hand, the military's involvement in politics has undermined democratic institutions and led to a lack of accountability and transparency in governance. Pakistan's economic challenges. Pakistan is facing significant economic challenges, with the country being heavily in debt and facing a balance of payment crisis. The country's debt to GDP ratio is among the highest in the world, and it's heavily reliant on foreign aids and loans. The country's economy is also facing a significant trade deficit, with imports exceeding exports by a wide margin. Pakistan's economy challenges are a result of several factors, including poor governance, corruption, and a lack of investment in key sectors. The country's energy crisis has also had a severe impact on the economy, with businesses being unable to operate effectively due to power shortages. The impact of Pakistan's problem on the global community. Pakistan's problems are not just confined to its borders. The country's environmental crisis in particular has global implications. Pakistan is one of the world's largest producers of cotton, and the country's textile industry is a significant contributor to its economy. However, the textile industry is also one of the most polluting industries, with textile factories releasing large amounts of pollutants into the environment. This has led to Pakistan's textiles being subjected to international scrutiny and regulations, with some countries imposing import restrictions on Pakistani textiles. Pakistan's role in the global fight against terrorism is also crucial. The country has been a significant player in the war on terror, with its military taking an active role in fighting militants and extremists. The stability of Pakistan is crucial to the stability of the region, and the country's success in fighting terrorism is a positive development for the global community. In conclusion, Pakistan is facing a significant number of challenges, from the climate crisis to economic instability and political turmoil. The country's problems are not just confined to its borders, but have implications for the global community. However, there are steps that can be taken to address these challenges, from promoting renewable energy to enforcing environmental regulations and investing in key sectors of the economy. It is crucial that we pay attention to what is happening in Pakistan and work together to find solutions that benefit not just Pakistan, but the world as a whole. Thank you for watching this special report on Pakistan.